What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shattuck Stick dropping some hot frogga on this mic. You're watching Jet Set Shattuck, and today's video topic is actually going to be on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, I really had wished for it to be a much, I guess, more higher production value video, but I need to talk about this because it's really upsetting to me. But before we hop into it, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this out with your friends. It really does help the channel. I wanted to talk about why the PS5 Pro is just, it's a scam, and a grand one at that. The PS5 Pro is $700. In a current games market where games are $70, it doesn't include a disc drive, which is an additional $80. If you're a pro console, I expect a disc drive. If I'm spending damn near $1,000, why am I not getting a disc drive? That's stupid. I was able to spend $500 and get a disc drive on the PlayStation 5 behind me. Why am I able to not get a disc drive for $700? And then on top of that, it doesn't include a vertical stand, the way that Sony wants you to hold up your PlayStation. Why? So just from an economic standpoint, right? Let's say you want to play online games, and we'll just use the middle tier membership for PlayStation Plus, because I feel like that's the membership that a bulk of people are gonna get, right? You get some games, you get games every month, and you have to spend less on games in general. But let's say you wanted a brand new spanking PS5 game. That's why you bought your PS5 Pro. So you get the PS5 Pro, $700. Brand new game, let's say Astrobot, $70. So we're at $770? This is before tax, by the way. Then you get the middle tier subscription plan for PlayStation Plus, which is either 25 every 3, or my bad, no, that's the essentials. I have it pulled up on the second monitor. It's $40 for 3 months, $15 for 1 month, and for 12 months it's $135. Let's say you spend that $135. So what? That's what is it? That's $870. That's $905. $905, right? Let's say you get an extra controller, because I'm telling you right now, the DualSense it drifts. You'll be inevitably buying another controller when you get this console. But let's say you get another controller that's been up to $75. You're at $980. Let's say you buy some cheap earbuds, some $15 earbuds, right? What is it? We're at what? I done forgot. 900. Let's say you buy some $20 earbuds. That's $1,000. You had $1,000. That's ridiculous. It's honestly insane how the gaming industry in general has gotten away with the with subscription models, with raising the price of games when they're obviously not worth the price. I get it. Games cost more to make. I'm fine with them charging more, but they're charging more and giving us less. That's my issue. And then on top of that, the PS5 has no games. We make this joke, right? But every single game that is released on the PlayStation 5, just about as an exclusive, has released on PC or inevitably comes to Xbox a few years later. To be honest, I don't care about the console war bullshit. I don't even really care about exclusives. But for the people who do care about exclusives, right now, the only game that we know that is not gonna come to PC, or we haven't gotten an announcement that it'll come to PC or Xbox or, Switch or something else, is Astrobot. And give it another 3 or 4 months and we'll see that trailer drop for the PC version. I guarantee. It's just the fact that Sony has the gall, in one of the worst economic times in history, to release a $700 console that nobody realistically asked for, outside of game devs saying we would like a little bit more GPU horsepower, because players are asking for, I guess, higher frame rates, which we get performance mode in just about damn near every game that comes out now. And the thing that makes this worse is that Sony has locked down the PlayStation 5 in a way that it is really, really stupid. Now, you may not understand what I mean if you don't have multiple setups in your house, or you're using something outside of a generic Walmart TV. But the PS5 has a bunch of bells and whistles, like 120 hertz, DRR, HDR, etc., right? And in my case, actually last year, I used to have a setup in the living room, because I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my girlfriend. We moved to a 2-bedroom now, and the living room is a whole separate room now. So now that I have that we're in this whole separate room for our computer setups, I had my monitor hooked up to my PS5 as well as my television. On my television, I was able to get 120 hertz VRR, 4K, HDR, and all the bells and whistles. I was happy with it. And I got this monitor over here. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's the most, top-notch monitor on the planet, but it's 1440p, supports up to 144 hertz, has VRR, and it has HDR, but I wouldn't use it on this monitor anyways because it's not bright enough to, give you real HDR. But it's the fact that I can't use 1440, or there's a workaround, which I currently do, that does allow me to use 1440p and 120 hertz on a PS5, but I can't use VRR with it, and I can't use HDR with it, despite, the monitor supporting it. Because Sony does not like 1440p. They do not like anything lower than HDMI 2.1. There's just a lot of stupid decisions with the PS5 that just make me angry. On top of that, the controller. The controller is $75 now because they raised the price like $5 like 3 days ago. And it drifts. I have had more PlayStation controllers drift than I ever have had Joy-Cons drift. I had my original Joy-Cons from my Nintendo Switch drift, correct? And after that, I bought another pair. Those have yet to drift. Technically, they will inevitably drift, but they have yet to drift, and that's been 5 years. Within 3 months of purchasing my PS5, the controller that I got with my PS5 drifted less than 1 month. Took 3 weeks for it to drift. I bought a pre-owned controller because I was like, I'm not gonna buy. I already ran the rigmarole with the PS4. I went through about 14 PS4 controllers, all from drift. And with the PS5, wasn't going through that again. So I bought that second DualSense, and within about 6 months, it started drifting. So I stopped playing my PS5. I didn't have the money to just go dropping on controllers. And then the DualSense Edge got announced. You know what I did? I bought a DualSense Edge. Not because I love the back paddles. They're useful, but you only get 2 of them at a time. Not because I love the weight, which admittedly, I do like that it's weighty. The finish is uglier than a base, DualSense. Let's get that out of the way. And the battery life is about half as long. It lasts about 3 hours off of one charge, 3 to 4 hours, realistically. Someone may say turn vibration off, blah, blah, blah. If I gotta start turning off features on my $200 controller, there's a problem. Let's be real. But the reason I bought this was because I could buy the little analog stick modules for $20 in case it drifts. And I'm waiting for the day that some third-party company comes around and makes Hall effect sensing joysticks for the DualSense Edge. That is the only reason I bought this $200 controller. It's because of Sony's incompetence. And people are gonna watch this and say, I'm a PlayStation hater. I own more PlayStation games than I own on any other platform across all generations. So let's shut that down. My issue with Sony is that there is an obvious lack of care for the people buying their machines. Now, many people may say this thing could only work at $700. And the thing is, I just think, why release this at $700 if nobody realistically, if the consumer is not asking for it? Why release this or announce this $700? Please tell me why. Maybe tell the devs to cut back on the game. I don't know. It's just I've always think back to the PlayStation 3, right? And it worries me because we're pulling up on 5 years into this console generation. I think it's going to be a lot longer than people think it is, but we know the next Xbox coming in like 2026, right? Right now, the only thing that is realistically holding people to their consoles is the vast amount of games that they own on them, specifically digitally. Your digital library is not going to go anywhere else but on your PS5 or PS6 or your Xbox Series or your Xbox One. You know what I mean? I'm not saying sell your PS5 to boycott Sony in this regard. I'm saying please do not buy this $1,000 investment. that is gonna get you nothing in the end. Because realistically, that's what it is. Especially if you're coming from a PS4 or you're coming outside of the PlayStation ecosystem. Please do not buy the PS5 Pro. It's a scam. It's not gonna do anything for you that you can't realistically do on your current PS4, especially if you're not playing on a 4K display. That resolution is not gonna matter if you're not playing on a 4K display. You wanna know why? Because most of these games stick to roughly 1440p anyways, at least in their performance modes. And if you're on a 1080p display, it's not gonna matter either way. You're basically just toggling a switch between 1080p or 1080p 60 and 1080p 30. But with that all out of the way, tell me how you feel about this in that comment section down below. This has been your man Shaddickstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow your boy on Twitter. Links as always are down below. And also join the Discord if you like to chat about things. But we're out of here. Peace and have a good one.